Hey guys, generally speaking, we're not big fans of doing Kickstarter or Indiegogo campaigns and carrying devices from there, unless we've worked with the brand before. Well, this one's a bit of a different one. WUUK is actually a US-based company who did do an Indiegogo campaign a few years back for a doorbell. Well, that has gone through and there was some positives and negatives that came out of that. But what we feel is positive is they now have a version 2, which you can buy directly from them. This is the one we got here. The version 2 is the Smart Doorbell Pro kit. This is actually a higher end kit, which features a higher end camera on the actual doorbell and a base station, which can be used as a base station for multiple different cameras that they also now sell. Let's get into it and see what's inside the box. So we open up and we have user manual. I assume this will be cables and power supply accessories. Yep, a bunch of those. Sorry for the noise. It features all different kind of adapters. I like that. We also have the doorbell itself. It's not the biggest doorbell, so it shouldn't be too intrusive. We also have 2 doorbell mounts, one straight, which will go in the middle of your door, and one angled, so you can actually mount this to the side and just kind of have the camera pointing towards where your entry is. It's nice to have 2 included, and they both feature 3M tape all over the back of it. As you can see here, there's also screw holes, so you can mount it using screws, which is a nice option. And over here we have a base station as well. It actually is like super light, doesn't weigh anything at all. It almost feels like it's empty. As you can see on the back, this is probably where the speaker is for the doorbell noise itself. And it features a USB, an Ethernet, power, and a little reset switch, so you can pair your devices. So this is actually pretty cool because this can be used as well to control up to 8 devices, which could be multiple doorbells or their own cameras. So you could even create your own little mini CCTV system without the need to connect it to the internet or the cloud and pay all the licensing fees, which is a pretty cool option if you want to go that way. We'll check that out a bit later as well. Let's talk a little bit about this doorbell itself. So this is version 2 and it features what they call 2K camera. So it has a bit more resolution than the previous version. So in the manual box, we have a user guide, a little template for drilling holes in your wall if you want to mount the unit using screws. The screws are actually provided right here. We also have a little SIM removal tool, which is used to remove the device from the wall, from the little latch down here. You have a sticker you can put on the front of your door or on your window to say that you're protected by this particular tool. I am not a fan of these stickers because you're essentially advertising that you have this particular system protecting your house. So if there is a vulnerability found in this system, ultimately the vulnerabilities are found in all systems, no matter what cost is. At some point there will be. So people can just walk around and be like, oh, I know this system. I've read online that it has vulnerability. I can exploit it. So not a big fan unless this is like a big company looking after you with a maintenance contract and a standby security. So I'll probably avoid this. And a little warranty form with all your different contact details. Apparently Evelyn is your support person. Cool. Pretty straightforward as far as I see so far. Let's go over here. So as far as the cables are concerned, I can see we have an Ethernet cable. It's a nice flat one. It's to connect your base station to your Ethernet router or switch. You got the screws. So these are the cables. So this by default comes with a battery, but you can also tap it into your existing doorbell, and these are the cables that support that. There's also USB Type-C cable here. I believe this is just to charge the device itself. As I mentioned earlier, you've got some screws and a power supply for the base station. And you have world adapters. So you've got your US, your EU, and UK plugs. With all the components out of the box, let's go and set it up and see how easy it is to actually get it working. So it's been a few weeks and I'm happy to report that setting up was really easy. Just follow the instructions on screen. Part of the account creation leads you through setup as well as mounting tips. At first, I'd recommend not mounting it permanently. See if the location works and view is good and use it for a few days, then mount it for good. When paired, there may be firmware updates. Make sure to do them straight away for both doorbell and base station, as there may be some security vulnerabilities. If you have a large household, it's easy to add extra users for your housemates or family, but users need to register first. I wish there could just be an email that was sent to them with the invitation so they can do the registration and join the system. Currently, you can't turn down the doorbell sound on the outside, but WUUK said that they will add functionality to turn that off completely in the future firmware. The version 2 has smaller rated battery, but I'm not sure if that's a big deal. We've had it running for approximately 2 weeks and it still has 89% battery left. There are a few issues and observations we found. Camera records with a bit of a delay, so you can't see the first bit of the clip when somebody comes to the door. This may be important for those living in flats, but since this is a US brand, there you're more likely to have people come up your driveway, so much more time to react for the camera. For those who are shy or generally don't want to speak to the person on the other side of the door, there are pre-recorded replies that can be used rather than speaking in person.
Hi there, you can just leave it. Thanks.
Generally the camera works well. In our testing, there is a small delay from the moment the doorbell is pressed, but that is reasonable, and from the receiver side you'll need to press the speak button to answer, which is at first unusual, but that is good for privacy, just in case there's a sensitive conversation happening when answering the door.
Hello? Hello?
Hello, got delivery for you?
Yes, thank you. Leave it by the door.
Okay.
The camera angle is also not perfect. Even though we have it mounted completely vertically, it is still looking up a little bit at the ceiling. I wish they made it a bit more vertical instead so we could see things below, such as somebody leaving a package. Another thing that we've noticed is notifications. They don't always come through. Sometimes delivery is dropped off without somebody ringing the bell, and it is logged in the system and you can see the clip in there, but just nothing comes through on your phone. Another feature which is useful in some households is the ability to track when somebody leaves the house. Because this camera triggers on motion, you actually see when your kids leave the house, maybe they're not supposed to, or maybe they have some friends coming over and they didn't click the button. So you get a bit more control. Also, you can record manually if you connect straight to the camera and press record, which is a nice little feature. Lastly, I have one more concern. This device is actually really easy to steal, as long as you have a little SIM removal tool, which is basically anybody out there nowadays. It is logged to your account, which makes it pretty pointless to do so. Overall, I am pretty happy with the device, and I think anyone in need of a doorbell without subscription should keep this one in mind. I hope you found this useful. Don't forget to smash that thumbs up and subscribe for more. We'll see you guys in the next one.